Hello everybody, it's the October 2023 garden update. Wouldn't you know, as soon as I get my sprinkler system fixed, rain sets in. That's how my life goes. That's okay. So everything's looking revived. Here's a look at the hollyhocks and the mosquito plants. They're all still doing quite well. That part of the sprinkler system wasn't affected at all. Here's the flower bed by the lean-to. It's hanging in there pretty good. Got some nice blooms over toward this way. Very nice. Would have liked to have had that filled in. However, this was affected by the sprinkler system malfunction. So we had a little loss here, so that's just going to be the way it is the rest of the season because it's too late to plant. The ground cover is just doing its thing. No big changes here. It's been warm, so the AC's still been running for the season. But looking good. This Turk's cap here is blooming and doing about as well as it can. It's not looking too healthy these days, so I'll continue fertilizing it and helping it along. Looks better than it did last year, but still has a ways to go. Let's take a quick look at the October rainfall. First full rain gauge of the whole year in 1 month. So there's still a handful of days and we're forecast more rain, so I'm going to go ahead and dump it out. Let's see just how full it got. Wow. Way over 5 inches of rain. Because I splashed some out there. And there's a box elder bug in there, looks like. Don't think I've ever done a rain gauge dump on camera before. So there's something new. And we're ready to go for the additional rainfall. And here's the additional rain we received since I first dumped that out the other day. About 3¼ inches more. And when I dumped it, it was all the way up in the green area, up to the top. So I had at least 6 inches. And then an additional 3¼ so 9¼ inches of rain total that I'm aware of. It may have done a little more than that, but that's just the rain we had in October. So very, very good rain. First good rain we've had all year. The flower bed by my workshop has really exploded with growth. Very nice to see that. Flower bed on the south side of the property continues to thrive and do pretty well. That Turk's cap has grown normal height. That's what that other one should look like. We'll come around here, and the fall marigolds are really doing great. And we got more blooms over here. Got a new one there today. And the milkweed's blooming. Haven't seen too many butterflies on it, but maybe they come by while I'm at work. This plant has looked better. Don't know what happened. May have gotten too dry. Shouldn't be a problem now. It won't be long before it gets cut down anyway, once the freezing weather gets here. Here's a look at the back portion of the garden. Tomato plants are thriving like crazy. Got the random marigold plant that came up there, which is always a nice bonus. Cucumbers are still doing their thing. Not making any cucumbers. I don't think they're going to make this fall. I'm loaded up with bell peppers. I would like to get a good group of those before freeze, as well as my chili peppers are doing well. Okra is finished. Just the last remaining pods have gone to seed for next year. Here's my broccoli for the fall garden. It's doing well, especially since the rain. Look at the tomatoes from this side, lots of blooms. Got a little bit of blight starting in on them, so that's always fun. Look at the tomatoes. They're in there. That is fantastic. Then got a bunch more here starting. I may have to protect these on the coldest nights and try to squeeze another harvest out of them. That would be fun. These old plants from spring have exploded in growth. Not seeing any tomato. Well, beg my pardon, there's one right there. So there's hope for these yet. Oh, there's more. Fantastic. And then not much going on through here. Got a little bit of lettuce planted here. Maybe it'll make. Probably not going to get another one of these tomato plants. This variety here, Brandywine, it didn't make any tomatoes in my area. Got a nice 4 o'clock cluster there. More marigolds, more tomatoes, sweet potatoes are finding their way out here, more marigolds there, and this tomato plant here appears to be setting some fall tomatoes. Very good to see that. This planting of 4 o'clocks is just doing its thing and hanging right in there. And here's the original main section of garden. Again, this okra's finished. Peppers are coming on strong. I've got Tabasco peppers everywhere. And there is a sweet potato blooming. How about that? That doesn't happen very often. More peppers. More peppers. More peppers here. Forgot to take a close look at these. Look at these healthy jalapeno peppers. Those are quite large. Ah, the wildlife. I thought it'd be too cool today for that guy, but apparently not. And then more peppers here, and we're just loaded up with peppers this fall. Not too many changes on this flower bed from last month. Maybe a little bit more things blooming. This one did get affected as well from the sprinkler malfunction. Let's take a close look at cluster number 1. There's cluster number 2. And all these years of planting, I finally learned the lesson, which is I need to plant all my seed up against the foundation. And they will spread like that instead of planting them here, and they spread over and over on the grass. For example, like this cluster here. Had I planted that all the way back against the foundation, it would have filled the flower bed perfectly. These periwinkles are blooming quite well, as are these zinnias. The yellow flower bed is possibly going to start blooming. Should be by next month anyway if we don't get a hard freeze. My canna lilies, or tropical plants, are still blooming and thriving. The pentas are as well. They are outstanding flowers. Just keep them watered and they bloom and bloom and bloom. More over here. Definitely going to get, my plan next year is again plant them up against the foundation where they will kind of float out like this one did here. That's about how I want it to look. I have some chrysanthemums blooming now, these white ones. And my ornamental cabbage is starting to make some nice heads. The flower bed by the mailbox is blooming pretty well. Apologize for the noise. I think they're cutting tile. And here is the flower bed in the middle of the front yard. Looking good. Got some more wildlife in there. And here's the back side of it. Looking pretty good. Hanging basket number 1. Hanging basket number 2. Here's this flower bed on the north side of the property. Got a little bit going on. Not too much. Kind of having to speed the pace up a little bit because it's starting to rain again. This fire bush here ended up doing pretty nicely this year. Well, here's about as good as the lawn is going to get for this time of year. Still hanging in. Here's a look at the front lawn. Doing pretty well. Hanging in there. Here's the south side of the yard. Also looking pretty nice. And here is the back lawn. Not looking too bad at all. So once again, this is the October 2023 garden update. Thank you for watching.